if somebody's trying to pass you got to move to the right a little bit so they can get through.
Dave, you want to take over
Yeah.
the voice?
Sure. Okay, this is the full markings. We're going to show you what qualifies as
I got one for you, Dave.
accessible in that. This, if you're on the red line and that's the direction of travel that you'd be going in.
Thank you.
This would be acceptable, right, because we're behind the line. This would still be acceptable because we haven't broken the plane of this line. And so as soon as any part of a foot crosses that side, that's disqualification. So I don't think we need any more clarification on that. Everybody understands that? Same thing with the beanbag toss and all that. Beanbag relay, the same thing. If the beanbag parts of it crosses. Do we have this in here? This is wrong, right? There's only one heat. In Division 4, there's only one heat. Because we only have 5, okay? Beanbag relay, lined up. What? How many kids on the line? Yeah.
Is there a rule about how close they can be when they're lined up? Can we?
No, there's no rule on this one. You can be bunched up as close as you want.
Stretch them up.
Yep. In this game, there's no requirement for that. The person in the center must have 1 foot in the triangle at all times when they're tossing the beanbag. The people on the line must be behind the circle line. As soon as they cross that, then it's disqualification. There'll be 3 heats. Oops. 3 heats. That'd be so 5, 5, and then 10 in Division 2, and it's only 1 heat in Division 4. Yes.
Is there an age for the middle person?
No.
Or a grade? I mean.
No. There's no. Anybody can be right there. Okay, so they start to the right, work their way to the left. Then when the first centered person receives the beanbag, the left of the last person, they run around their pit, and they cannot push off of the other contestant's clutch or anything.
Is that last player that they throw to allowed to move out of the way? Like, are they allowed to
Yes.
step back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They just can't
You'd
help.
be surprised how many different rules we've got, and they have to like stand still and not
No,
move.
no.
And,
So you're doing it with half the team, for TNT, Division 2, it's basically half the team, and the other half of the team, then the whole team. Division 4 is just 5 kids, so it's 4 kids on.
Yeah. This last person can go sit down if they want. But at any time, let's say they threw to this person and they're over here, and this person crosses the line, team is disqualified.
We also had something that we called the Eric rule. If you saw my youngest, she's now 6 feet tall, but he was actually he was a kindergartner, and he was playing with the 3rd and 4th graders to make sure he didn't get excited. The player, he was standing next to one of the bigger players, whose job was to, as soon as Eric finished throwing, he would picked up Eric and basically made sure he was not in a position to be able to
Jump across the line.
disqualify.
No. It's not to disqualify. He was actually airborne, but he was fine with it. He likes being airborne. But that is something that if you do help kids, especially, you can assist. The other players can assist other kids.
Okay, next events. We'll cover both sprint relay and marathon relay. Sprint relay is 1 lap each, and then 2 laps each for the marathon relay. There is a passing rule here. So make sure that you train them. If somebody's trying to pass, they have to move to the right a little so that the person can pass them on the left. Baton must be passed between your color lines. A foot can be across this line, but as long as the baton is behind this line, it's still a good pass. Okay, as long as the pass is made within in your zone. Any questions on a baton changeover? There's the passing zone that we talked about. The baton must be exchanged in that zone Doesn't matter where the body is as long as the baton's in that area. We've seen it where the kids still, still reaching back as they're running and grab it while they're still in the zone.
If they drop the baton leaves the zone.
The zone, anything outside the square,
They're
you're
done.
done. Passing rule by hand, so they should use their hand, not the baton, but push it. They give them the thing, move to the right, use it sprint relay, marathon relay, sprint, and marathon. Three-legged race, 2 laps, tag rule in this game, okay? You can use sponges in between, but if it falls out and interferes with another team, you'll be disqualified. Bring your own straps. If you use one of ours and it comes loose, it's the breaks of the game.
It's not my fault.
It's not our fault, yeah. So if it comes loose, because we don't know, maybe not have quite as good straps.
To quote
as
John
you do.
Belushi.
Yes.
Okay, how serious is interference in this game? Because we have had really bad experiences the past years. Our three-legged race teams have been really fast, and even with the tag rule in play, like they do not get out of the way to where it's seriously impairing our chance to win.
In that case, it's called breaks of the game at times, where we as line judges, when we will try to get them out, but if we're not to interfere, because then we have to have a rerun, because we interfere. In that case, it's breaks of the game because we can't safely get them out without interfering. So that's part of the problem with that. So we try and get them out as best we can, and usually we're pretty successful. We'll come out and guide them out by their shoulders.
Right, like that happens a
You
lot.
know, you
Yeah.
can't drag those kids out, they really right, they'll hear about it from their parents. Okay?
We are aware.
Yeah.
I think,
So-
I
And
think
generally tell
We
them
know.
to,
Yeah.
if you don't count on them getting out of the way, pass on the right. It's passing on the inside.
One of the things that
It's on
we
the
teach our
inside,
kids
so
is how
you
to
tell
go
them to
around
pass the
people
inside. You should tell them to pass the
and
outside.
ask
Right.
how to step over
Yeah.
somebody when they're down.
I think, Warren, do you do this? You dive in front of the kids so they jump over them during the practices?
With track and journey.
Yeah, but I think we're telling them to pass on the inside. We're just telling them to pass on the outside.
Yeah, in track and journey, if you fall, you're disqualified in TNT or not.
Yeah.
Generally,
Any other questions on this? I want to keep things moving
there's
for
no,
you.
We've got 15 minutes to get through track and journey games and TNT. So we gotta
Okay,
start.
tag rule,
Is this all in writing just for clarification?
it's in the rule books, yeah.
Okay, just checking.
By hand, not by push, give the gas, move to the right, quickly out of the race. Use only in three-legged race. Event 4, four-way tug, start with the rope taut. Bags moved at the horn, team member hands together. Winner must be possession of bag and rope, okay? That's always the key thing.
Really work hard with your kids. I know the big thing is they grab the bag I won, they let go immediately, and then the teams on the opposite side just coming back. And as officials, it's really hard to see. We see they got the bag, we look up and they're no longer holding the rope.
Yeah. Tell them, make sure they hang on to
And
it.
we want them holding both of them for at least long enough for us to see it. Because if we look, okay, they got the bag, we look over, the rope's gone, then it's not good.
The heats are wrong.
Your heats are wrong. For Division II, you only have
Right.
one 3rd and 4th grade team and 2 5th and 6th grade.
Right.
So you
This has
got
to
it
be
updated.
Yeah. Gotta
Well, this is
update
for the bigger groups.
that. Yeah, it's.
See, that's why you need girl line leaders.
For Division 2? That's correct.
Division II is only one 3rd, 4th grade team.
Last year, that's what it
Division
was.
2 is 4 heats.
Oh, it was 4 heats last year.
It was 4 heats last
year, that's what I'm saying. The book says 3 though.
Yeah.
that's where the addendum comes in. We have the addendum that covers that.
So which is,
I'm
So
not
are you
sure- I'm not
changing
sure
it,
the
or is it
addendum
this
covers
the
that, but
addendum?
Anyway, it's been
The
4
addendum.
heats
Okay.
for
The
years.
addendum supplements the rule book.
But I'm not sure that that's addressed in the addendum. But it's been 4 heats for years.
So is it 4 or 3 this year?
It is 4 heats.
For,
Okay.
for division.
And it's the same thing with
Division 4, how many heats?
Division 4, 1 heat.
1 heat.
1 heat tug for Division 4, 1 heat,
Right.
$1 for Division 4.
3rd and 4th graders start at the 11-foot mark, and the 5th and 6th at the 12. Sprint race, marathon race, run fast, get done first.
Don't knock
That was
over
nice.
kids.
Don't knock over a pin.
Yeah.
No tag rules, just the passing roll. Make sure they move to the right if somebody's trying to pass them. Coach them that train them. Have somebody run slow. Have them run slower, even though they're tempting to run fast, so they can, because there might be somebody faster than them on another team. Event 6, balloon volley. Two team members out there. Balloon must break the plane of the team line. Just remember, oops, wrong button. The whole balloon does not have to pass that line. Just part of the balloon could pass the line, and that team wins. So the whole balloon does not have to cross the line. So keep that in mind. So if you think it didn't go it didn't go all the way across. Part of it did. That's why we have line judges on each corner to look down the line, so to see that.
Somebody is going to look at this and say, the green player should be over here. Well, we put this in deliberately because we saw that this guy is really tall and he's going to win and hit the balloon this way, so this person's over there in a defensive position. You can stand anywhere you want.
And at the center, get first choice of opposite your line.
Right.
Yeah. Jay says whoever gets there first. I always give whoever's facing that line the priority as it's shown here.
I have a question. I have no third graders. What do I do?
What is that?
No third graders.
You can use second graders
Or you use all
Fourth graders.
or all fourth graders.
So I can use all fourth graders?
Yeah,
Yeah.
good for
Yeah.
you.
Third and fourth are the same group, so you can do whatever you want with that.
Yeah, you can also bring, if you're short people, you can bring Sparkies, second grade Sparkies up to be a third grader.
Or younger.